Hello, my name is Viragya. Today, I will share another of my experiences. This experience is linked to the teaching that nearly all newly minted teachers claim to possess. They, one way or another, wish to be part of it, and it is expected to manifest in the near or perhaps distant future. Edgar Cayce associated the new era with the fate of Russia. He was generally not indifferent to Russia. At the height of Stalin's tyranny, he said, "The hope will come to the world from Russia, not from the communists, not from the Bolsheviks, but from liberated Russia. Years will pass before this happens. The new religious development of Russia will give the world the last hope." In one of the meditations, I saw a very, very large temple. This vision occurred regardless of my aspirations. I simply recited a mantra while sitting in meditation. At some point, I lost the sensation of my body and found myself in a vast space, where I saw a temple. This temple was extremely large. It partly resembled some Indian structures and consisted of light. I also noticed that this temple does not yet have an owner. One has not yet been determined. This indicates that this teaching has not yet manifested on earth, although it already has some of its own outlines. It means that the teaching itself has been formed, but the owner, as such, is absent. I mentioned in the previous video that it is very difficult to explain some moments that are specific to the parallel world. In front of this building, this huge temple, which consisted of the most beautiful golden light, stood a group of people. There were several dozen of them. I saw all of them from afar, without approaching this place, and I noticed that these people strive in every possible way to be as close as possible to this temple. Watching them from behind, I also observed the state of their astral bodies. Each of them, in their life, in their practice, and in their spiritual path, declared ambitions that only their knowledge and aspirations are true. At the same time, from the outside, a certain divine being was watching this entire process. He was very majestic, very sublime. He watched all those people, all those teachers, who declare some of their ambitions for the appearance of a new teaching, either with a smile or with mercy. What is most interesting, and what I would also like to say, is that it was clear how the consciousness of these teachers works. They did not just want to be the founders of this teaching, they wanted to take possession of the energy of the earth. They put forward a certain claim that they should be the rulers of this planet and all the resources that our planet provides. At the same time, the earth was perceived as a certain divine essence consisting of very gentle light. She also hears prayers directed to her. But in this case, I felt only complete selfishness on the part of these teachers. Among them were many souls of teachers who reside in Russia. Some of them do not belong to the Russian Federation. They are currently all preaching, trying in every possible way to take possession of as many people as possible in order to save them, bring them to enlightenment, awaken them, and so on. As I already said, a certain divine essence was observing this entire process, and he did not give his blessing for them to fulfill the mission they declared for themselves. He understood the full extent of their train of thought, their aspirations, and desires. Nevertheless, he did not grant them his blessing, and these teachers essentially marked time. They could not get closer to this temple. Simultaneously, behind them and far away to the side, stood a certain man. For some reason, I understood that this person belonged to the teachings of the Krishna devotees. He also declared some ambitions to be the leader of this temple, but he behaved more or less adequately, without excessive pride or aspirations. He just stood aside and watched everything that was happening. The only one this divine entity has chosen out of dozens of people is this Krishna devotee. After choosing him, I heard how he blessed him for leadership, not of this huge temple, but of a smaller one situated to the side of the main temple, which symbolizes the new teaching. The blessing made him the leader of this small temple. I realized then that the teaching of ISKCON is one of those that will remain on earth, flourishing and developing. This will not be the main teaching, but to some extent, it will be related. All those teachers who claim to be messiahs will remain standing in the same posture as they are now. Naturally, in essence, they will not succeed. There are many prophets, and it is difficult to say who will bring some new knowledge. I also noticed that there were no representatives of the Orthodox Church among these teachers. Perhaps due to the fact that they did not interest me then, I was engaged in researching the activities of these pseudo-mystics. That's what I saw and shared with you. Until next time.